Most Amazon sellers underestimate the power of product images, but they are one of the biggest conversion drivers in your listing. In this video, we will break down how to create a fully optimized image strategy using ZonGuru's AI-powered research. You will learn what Amazon's algorithm looks for, how to structure your image carousel for maximum impact, and proven techniques to turn shoppers into buyers. If you want to try ZonGuru yourself, sign up for this tool using the link below and get 7-day free trial as well as 20% lifetime discount on any of their subscription plans.
Hello, John. Excited to have you back on Orange Klik YouTube channel today because you will share how Amazon sellers could create an algorithm-optimized visual guidelines for their images by using deep AI research. Sounds super interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what do you exactly tell us today and how and what we could learn from you. But as always, before we start, could you first introduce yourself and also give us an overview a little bit about ZonGuru and how you have been helping Amazon sellers throughout the years?
Hey, Lizette, it's always good to be here, and yeah, thanks for taking the time. So, I'm John Tilley, the founder and CEO of ZonGuru, and we're essentially an AI-forward set of tools that can help brands and agencies optimize and scale their listings on Amazon to get more revenue and profit. That's a really interesting space. We have a bunch of tools, but with the advent of AI, how do you use AI in the right way to get the right kind of feedback, to get the right processes to be more efficient with how you can update, the lifeblood of your Amazon business outside of your product is obviously your listing. So how do you make that the best listing for customer conversion and for algorithmic conversion? And that's where we really have a specialty.
So basically, today's goal is to help sellers to pimp up your image carousel with the help of AI. And what do you think, how important images are today for Amazon sellers on the listing page when you compare maybe 5 or even 10 years ago in the Amazon ecosystem? Of course, the importance has increased over time, but maybe there's any specific insights or highlights you would bring out for the audience.
Yeah, I think it's as critical today as it was back in the day, right? And I think the current theme still stands true, which is brands that are even successful on Amazon still don't spend enough time making the images better, right? And getting the right kind of research and insights to make it better. And it's fundamentally something that brands have just never focused on over the years, although it's such a critical piece to the business. How you optimize those images has evolved. The importance is still the same, but how you actually optimize them and who you optimize that for has changed, right? And the biggest change today is that not only are you optimizing for human engagement and conversion, you're optimizing for the algorithm, right? So AI can read an image now. What is the actual content that's in the image? And also importantly, what is the kind of meta information on the back end of the image? So understanding that you're creating an image that needs to be read by humans, but also by AI and Amazon's algorithm is a critical piece of your business today. And so we have methods and technology that can ensure that you have the best optimized images.
Right. Okay. Very good. And I know you prepared some slide deck also for us to kind of go more into depth with this topic and help us to understand better how we could optimize the images for both then for customers, but also for the algorithm. So go ahead, share your screen, and then we're eager to learn from you.
Okay, so as I mentioned, ZonGuru is an AI-powered Amazon SEO toolset that can help you scale revenue and profits. We are connected to most of all of the Amazon marketplaces globally, and we've had a lot of firsts in the space over the years, right? Everything from contextual keyword intelligence, understanding where your competitors are strong or weak, through to the first to integrate AI into listing creation, and the latest tools that we can talk about towards the end, which is some bulk SEO agentic models that we built, and this new listing image analysis blueprint tool that we've created, which does deep research around your images, which we're going to talk about today. Okay, so as you mentioned up front, Lizette, we're calling this, how do you pimp my image? going back to Pimp My Ride, if anybody knows the reference. But really, how do you make sure that you have the best listings, images on your listings for human conversion and for algorithmic optimization? And there's a lot of specifics around that are new in today's world. And I think the first thing that I want to say is there's a lot of hype in the space around like, hey, I can create these images with AI and they're perfect. You can put them on your listing. And I think that's still today a mistake. I think that, what AI is good at is doing deep research around your space to understand and give you ideas as to what you should actually put into your image carousel. And we can certainly do that from a research document perspective, but also from a visual guideline perspective. But the actual final execution of images, that is still something that a specialist, graphic designer, someone that you have as an agency or someone within your team should execute on to make your final images, and then put those onto Amazon. I think that makes a big difference, not only for human conversion again, but I think the algorithm can see that as well, right? So you've got to make sure that you really make sure you have the right images and that you tag your meta descriptions in the right way so that the algorithm can read it, right? If you take your image and you drop it into ChatGPT as an example, it's going to come back and tell you a lot about that image, both by understanding the content in the image, but also understanding the meta descriptions, which is critical. So this is the tool that we have, that we've created, which is ultimately a tool that will do deep research on your niche on Amazon, and then come back to you with recommendations, both in a document that you can give to your creative team, but also in an actual image visual guideline. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now, and then you have a chance to actually request those from us as well. So your image carousel is critical, and we've talked a little bit about this already, Lisette, but some of the things that are important to just be a reminder: customers buy with their eyes much more today than they used to, especially with the amount of attention that people have in today's world. Importantly, when you're buying with your eyes, what is the high level narrative that people get from scanning your images, right? You can see along the bottom here, like, what do you get out of this? Yeah, 8 hours protection, odorless, not sticky, bug-free adventures for all, right? You can pick out these things really quickly, and that's how people scan images. What is the through funnel conversion metrics? Clearly, if you get more clicks, more add to carts, more conversions, that's going to spike the algorithm, and your images play a big role in doing that. What does Rufus Cosmo, what does the algorithm read in the images? I just talked about this, right? You can drop your image into any AI related tool and it will tell you what that image says. It's the same for Amazon, right? So you've got to make sure that you have the right image creative, but also the right content overlays and meta descriptions in your images. What makes you stand out and connect with customers? So this hasn't changed over the years. Like, you can do this all day, but if you truly don't understand and connect with customer sentiments, what is the insight? What do customers really want? If you can't get at that, then there's, you're falling short, right? And so our technology has a way of getting at customer sentiment. So what is this research tool? And I want to explain the theory of what we are doing on our end, right? Our original goal was, how do we create this deep research document? I'll show you what this looks like. It's about a 20-page document that is ultimately the creative brief that can go into a creative team. And its fundamental job there from an AI analysis perspective is to do all of the research up front and to find those insights that you can make better images. So what we do is we use AI to determine what is your unique selling proposition as your brand, and how does it read that on Amazon, right? What does it see currently today on Amazon? Then what it does as well is it unveils common themes across your top 25. It's actually about 50 competitors now. So in the niche, what are brands actually focusing on? What is the common themes there? And what are the things that are important? Like, so there are things there that are clearly important that all brands are calling out. So identifying what those common themes are is important. And then the final piece, which is really critical, is like, what's the intersection of your USP, what everyone's talking about in the space, and then the final piece, which is buyer review sentiment. So what do customers actually want? And typically there's some insight or some gap there that we want to expose, that you can really put in your images that aligns with your USP and customer sentiment that is different from the other brands that are out there. And if you can highlight that, you get more customer connection, more conversion, more algorithmic conversion, and ultimately better sales, right? So that's what this tool does, in a nutshell. So we give the report, which is important, but we don't stop there. What we then do is we actually take that whole research document and then we prompt AI to come up with actual visual images for your images 1 through 7, and in fact for your A+ content. So what you ultimately have the document, but then you have a visual guideline that will show you, hey, this is what it could look like, which is there to inspire and to give the creative team the right ideas as to what to put in the images. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Here's a quick example. So this is a product that's out there in the marketplace. It's a bug spray. We did an analysis on this, using the tool. This is, a set of current images. And we first kind of look at those top 25 competitors and we pull together their whole image stack, right? Which we then feed to AI, and you can see these all the different, players in the space. If I'm looking at this, like who really stands out that has a good, visual narrative in the images, buying with your eyes, right? And I would say the high level is like not anyone here is doing a really good job. Probably the best people that are doing it is this brand right here, right? You can see, hey, it's a new look product, repels mosquitoes, eucalyptus, DEET free, non-greasy, how do you use it, comparisons, right? So they do a pretty good job there. But you can look at these other ones, like you don't really see a similar one. These guys down here cuts off, but they do a pretty good job as well, right? So understanding like visually, what's the story that you're telling in your images to help with algorithmic and human conversion is critical, right? So we do that as a deep analysis, and then we generate this document. So this is just a snapshot of the first page, but it's about a 20 to 30 page document that goes into deep SEO ideas, main image optimization ideas, secondary image optimization ideas, A+ content, right? Actionable outcomes that you can really put into your images. So it'll bring those insights up front and center so that you can actually get better creative. It's trying to separate the forest from the trees, right? You're a brand, you're constantly looking at your brand, you think you know what you're telling, but how about having an AI tool that can actually tell you what it's actually seeing and point out the opportunities, right? And this is what this document does, which is very powerful. Here's an example of what we did. We then took that document, we dropped it into AI, and we said, hey, come up with the right kind of images, as inspiration, right? For what can go in there. And you can see one of the big insights here was like, hey, this 3-hour protection, plant powered, right? This is an insight that customer sentiment was really looking for in the images, right? So making sure it's bold, highlighting the thing that's going to make you stand out, that's going to get the click from the ideal customer profile that's looking at your product, right? This is a great insight that's coming out of the document. Again, like kind of looking at like this generated by AI, right? So it still needs to be designed further, but the point is it's there to give you inspiration, and it calls out the things that are really important: non-greasy, gentle on the skin, 3-hour protection. Again, these are the kind of things that are important. And then understanding that the person that's using this as the ideal customer profile and based on customer sentiment isn't the hiker, young guy, just looking to spray it on his body. It's actually the family that's trying to protect their family in these summer hiking environments, right? Which is a much better visual that connects with the ultimate benefit and the audience that's looking for this product. So, big insights there that make a big difference to conversion. Here's another example. This is one of our partners. It's kind of a candy sprinkle that you put on cupcakes, etc. The insight there was that customers actually wanted to know a little bit more, like what is the actual product, like look at it a little bit more closely. And this is what was generated, right? So, you can kind of see, especially in this last image, like it's a way of really showing them like much more visually, like what is the makeup of this kind of candy mix, and what does that look like? And clearly that's a much better display, that there's going to be, get a much better insight and connection from customers, right? So these are the kind of examples just to show you what this tool does. Now, if you want to get access to this, we have it in beta right now. We're selecting a few brands to come in, and Orange Klik is obviously a great partner of ours, and so we've included your audience into this beta. Now, how do you get access to this? Well, one, you have to qualify. And the best way to do that right now is to go to this link, zonguru.link/OK-image-optimization. It'll take you to a calendar invite. You book in 15 minutes. We will connect with you, connect your data, and then run this for some of your products. And that would be a free initial analysis. And we can also look at a few other, new tools that we have that we can see if they are suitable for your business, namely some bulk SEO tools that we have, and some other ways of really understanding your revenue growth and what that should look like. So we can discuss those on the call, but it's a quick 15-minute call. You must fill out that form properly, and you must put in the notes there, orange click, put my image. If you do those correctly and you fill out the details in there, then you can qualify and we'll move forward on that step. If you don't fill it out, you're obviously not going to get the qualification. So we are being very specific about the brands we want to include in this. But certainly you can get that done on your brand, get those ideas, improve your conversion rates. We typically see 20 to 30% on some brands. And that's some of the higher ones, but even 5% is a realistic goal. It's going to be massive on your business, right? So getting that information is so critical to conversion and helping you grow on Amazon, especially in today's age, with understanding that you have to be optimized for human, but also algorithmic conversion, which will get you the flywheel and get you growth on Amazon.
All right, sounds really good, John. Thank you very much for sharing and also showing us bits and pieces of how does it work. First thing, I think I have a question about the visual guideline. I think it's awesome that you don't only provide like a summary of the analysis, but actually provide this guideline, because this is something that would get sellers actually work on it, and as you said, like either to provide a designer or just look through by themselves. So I wanted to ask about the guideline. So is it based on the best practices, or the guidelines usually it's able to also then highlight those, let's say, opportunities that competitors maybe have missed when optimizing their listing images, to kind of give suggestions what they are missing but could be there based on the product itself?
That's right. So it's both. It will obviously analyze your current images and give you feedback on that if it's not meeting specific guidelines from Amazon, which is fine. But the biggest impact is going to be, hey, what are the insights and those opportunities that you're missing in your current images that customers want, that competitors haven't found, that you can put into your product that align with your unique selling proposition, right? So the whole goal of the document is to highlight those opportunities to you, but then also give you feedback on how do you make sure that fits within the requirements of Amazon, and that it's presented in a way that has that visual hierarchy from main image through to secondary, through to third, lifestyle images, etc. That you have the right kind of visual hierarchy, so that you're telling the right narrative to get the ultimate customer
Basically,
conversion.
it gives the suggestion for the like image flow in the image carousel as well, right? Based on the kind of like behavior and sales process. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah. There's other things that are also cool in that document. It does give you some additional keywords that you should be focusing on. It does give you, a few, SEO content updates that you need as well. It'll highlight all that in the documents. Again, it's when we run this through with either agencies or brands, when we speak to the creative team that have taken hours to come up with their research and understand what they should be putting into the images, this document achieves that in obviously a few minutes, right? So it's as simple as requesting a report, getting it, and all of those hours spent researching, trying to understand how to stand out, is solved in this actual report.
No, for sure. I think it's very important that you also include that customer sentiment into it, because I think that's what those hour-long research process usually, is all about. Not just how to make it like visually looking nice, but also answer those customer objections up front, and just educate maybe them about using the product, whatever is actually needed for them to make the purchase decision basically within minutes when shopping on Amazon. So it definitely changes the way how the image optimization flow works for Amazon sellers. I really like the example you brought with this candies, or how do you call it? Like when AI kind of suggested to list those different ingredients or pieces. probably an idea that a lot of us would not come up with, because like who would think of separating them in that way? But I think it gave such a big clarity on what the product is and what it includes. Have you had any other interesting insights from AI when analyzing and going it through with other products, which might have been surprising a little bit for you, what AI was able to come up with?
Yes, I think there's been a number of different. I mean, every single document that comes out there, there's going to be insights in there to improve your images, right? And I think the main thing for me is just, that reminder that even the biggest brands on Amazon are not focused enough on updating their creative to really take advantage of opportunities, right? Like that research detail is missing. And, most of the brands that we speak to, the last time they optimized the images was, sometimes a year, 2 years ago, right? And they need to go through that and update it, right? Now, some of these have obviously big portfolios. So we have another tool that will help identify where do you start first? Like, what is the biggest opportunity within your portfolio to optimize for to give you the biggest revenue gains, right, across your portfolio? So that's another part of our analysis that we do, is we look at your whole portfolio and we actually identify where's the biggest opportunity right now, where should you start first. But yeah, I think there's always you'll be surprised how many insights there are, for sure.
No, very nice. Excited to for the sellers who have been able to try it out. And as John mentioned before, then we're gonna have the link in the description below as well. So if you're interested, click on it, and then hopefully you're able to be included also in this beta test, so you will be able to get the analysis as well as the visual guideline. John, before we go for today, because we're wrapping up this video now, you mentioned briefly in the beginning of the video, ZonGuru offers a variety of features and tools for sellers. Could you maybe highlight a few more for the end of the video who would like to check out your website as well to get to know what else you have to offer?
Yeah, currently on our application today, we have over 18 different tools. As I said, a lot of it is focused around keyword intelligence, really understanding the baseline of what you should be optimizing for. And a lot of people out there are saying, hey, in the new AI models, keyword optimization is dead, and that's simply not true. It is absolutely the fundamental core of what you should be looking for, is like, what are the various ways that people find your product, and then how you optimize that is slightly different. For the latest algorithm, especially, not keyword stuffing, but the baseline of what are the actual keywords you should be targeting is critical. We have the best tool in the space, Keywords on Fire, to find those and understand, again, contextually, where's the opportunity, where are your competitors focused and where are they not. We have tools that obviously can create listing optimization and content. You can use that in our listing optimization tool. We have a new tool coming out in that space, which can do it even faster and better. Which if you're a ZonGuru customer, you'll get access to that as well. And then we have reporting, which is really focused on performance reporting and trying to understand, from a keyword perspective, where your listing's tracking well, where's the opportunity, and how do you align, the keywords and the algorithm and your traffic to get better ranking over time, right? So that's a lot of the tool that you have within ZonGuru, as well as inventory, kind of tracking and keyword tracking and research tools as well. So get in there, have a look. But again, the ultimate focus here and where we are focused is how do we help you best to optimize your storefronts, your listings, and track everything around that to make sure that you're getting on that flywheel and growing your business profitably on Amazon.
Sounds good. Thanks for the overview. And also, if you're interested, we have more videos on our Orange Click YouTube channel. I have recorded earlier with John about different features and different cool things ZonGuru is up to, because they're constantly developing and innovating and bringing out new things on the table to make your life easier and also to help you to earn more money on Amazon. So thanks again, John, for taking the time today to join me. It was very interesting to hear about this new Pimp My Image Carousel feature or tool. And I hope to see you soon again on our channel.
Thank you. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.
I hope this video will help you to create algorithm optimized Amazon product images and drive more conversions to your listings. If you want to try ZonGuru tools for yourself, sign up for them using link below and get 7-day free trial. In addition to that, you will get 20% discount, lifetime discount if you will want to sign up for their service. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons for getting notifications about new content we upload. And if you have additional comments and questions, leave them in the comments section below. And now I recommend you to watch another video where you will learn how to optimize your Amazon product listings for Rufus AI. So check this out.